Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, July 13th, 2017, and this is your fun fact of the day. Theology Thursdays, giving the proper context to the Bible verses that you probably see a lot of, but maybe don't actually get the entire exact proper meaning to. Jeremiah 29:11, quote, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." If you ever want to make a killer motivational poster, this will probably be your go-to verse. This verse is often quoted during some times of trial or strife to encourage or inspire us by pointing us to the promise that God has very specific plans to help us prosper. So don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Look, he has plans for our welfare, not for evil. Let us look at the proper context, which this verse is supposed to be read with. When given the proper context, we realize this verse is actually referencing a very specific promise from God to the nation of Israel at the time. This promise points to the end of their Babylonian exile. In the year 597 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, invaded Judah, one of the kingdoms of Israel, and rounded up 10,000 of their citizens from Jerusalem itself and dumped them in Babylon, 500 miles from home. They lost everything, and they didn't know what to expect. They had no idea how to live there. They didn't know how to do much of anything there. So the word prosper does not mean material blessings, and definitely not wealth. God's welfare here is not, oh, you're gonna get rich and wealthy and everything will be fine. You'll be able to bless other people by just showering out the shekels to them. The promise here is referencing physical and spiritual salvation. Don't get me wrong. God still wants us to prosper. God still does not want evil for us. This promise is not completely hollow apart from that context. In terms of salvation, yes, God always wants us to prosper. Always wishing that we would grow, especially towards him. He doesn't wish any ill will on any of his children, which all of us are. Remember that God's focus, being God, is on much greater things. In fact, this passage is a great reminder of a fulfilled prophecy and the perfect word of God. This is an amazing story that points us to a greater release and greater redemption for all of God's people. But Jeremiah 29:11 does not guarantee anyone's personal fulfillment. Another news today is National French Fry Day. I'm sure we can make that happen. Those are not difficult to come by in the slightest, 'cause America. And National Beans and Franks Day. I'm noticing a summer theme with food here recently. It is July, I suppose. That's pretty fair. Hope you've enjoyed this fun fact of the day. See you tomorrow.